Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in your day. Welcome back to the Wealth Reimagined podcast. I'm your host, Maya Kay, and you are here with me on the Family Bloodline Network. As you can see, I still am in the process of unpacking. Um, I have yet to locate my cord. And so here we are. Thank goodness that we have smartphones so that we can have a backup plan so that I would not miss connecting with you and getting to have this time with you. So if you are listening, thank you so much for joining and tuning in with me. And if you haven't, please like and subscribe to the Family Bloodline Network. So many amazing shows and content are created here, authentic, real, raw. And so definitely don't want you to miss out on anything that this amazing network is putting out. So, oh my gosh, I want to talk to you guys about scams today. I, you know, the scammers are so busy. They are so busy and they are getting very clever, very sophisticated. I mean, like, this is a whole like career for them at this point, at the magnitude and the level that they are really trying to trick you and to get your data, to get your information and all of that. And so I thought this would be a good topic to talk about because it's important, especially as you are starting on your journey and trying to build and create wealth, get rid of debt, doing your budget, um, build savings, all of these foundation pieces, right? What we don't want to happen is for all that hard work to be stripped away because of some scam, right? And they are so busy. They are so busy. And the reason that I wanted to talk about this, because as many of you know, if you are new here, again, welcome. We are a community that are in the process of creating and mastering those foundation p- uh, blocks so that you can get to a point where you are building wealth. So, those foundational blocks, what are those? Budgeting, debt elimination, savings. We want to master these things because these skills are so foundational in building wealth, running a business, your home. You are the CEO of your home. This is the first business you are running. That's your house. And managing the finances comes with that. It's no different than home maintenance, cleaning, cooking, grocery shopping. All of these are departments in your home. You know what I mean? So I want you all to really shift that mindset. But that's what we are doing here at Wealth Reimagined. And so, in building those foundational pieces, it's so important that we then protect ourselves. We protect ourselves. We protect this money we're working hard to make and get. And the scammers want it too. They want to get it an easy way. And so the reason I think they're so busy right now is because of the state of this country, the affordability crisis. We talked a little bit about this last week. The affordability crisis that we're in. People are hurting, people are struggling. And I always think about those when it's too good to be true. If it sounds too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. I agree with that 100%. But what you got to understand is that the scams nowadays, they're not even trying to give you some big, like, audacious, hey, you got an inheritance from such and such and yada yada, and we just need this information. Like, it's not like, here, we want to give you something. They just trying to take from you indirectly, right? It's like an indirect thing. So the reason this was so an important topic I thought to talk about is because, for those of you know, I just purchased a home, and I have been getting, I'm calling it scam mail. I've been getting letters, postcards, um, perforated, perforated ones that you have to tear, the sides, and then the top. I mean, very convincing, right? And so I thought about it and I'm like, well, okay, it looks like they need some, it's basically, it's got my name, it has my lender, it has my loan amount. Um, and it's like saying that, hey, we have some important information that we need to get from you regarding your loan. And so I saw it, I read it, and I said, okay, but it's not like I was gonna stop what I was doing and call, right? And so then, like the next day, I got another one. And then I got a letter. And then they start sending it where it's like, you need to respond by a certain date. So that sense of urgency when they start to try to light a fire under you and get you where you're like, oh my God, okay, oh my God, what's going on with my loan? No, 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 no. You know. So what really got my attention was a couple things caught my eye. Let me back up slightly. One thing that caught my attention was that the phone number was different on every one of them. Different phone number. And the only reason I noticed the phone number was different because I wasn't comparing them. I just remembered the first three numbers. And when I saw I got a different one, and I said, well, the first three numbers are different. That's interesting. I was like, I wonder why the numbers are different. That got my attention first. The second thing that got my attention was the authentication phrase that they wanted me to say. And I'm not even going to say it on here, but what I can tell you is that it's three words that seem to allow me to articulate specific continents. Oh my God, not continents, excuse me. I'm so tired. I apologize. Consonants and vowels. And I think had I fell for this and I would have called in, they wanted to get my voice so that then, they could have me call somebody saying something using my voice, which, you know, I guess they could do that now. But I definitely didn't want to say those phrases. Um, and so, anyhow, nothing has happened. I am way past the deadline of their urgent message, and nothing has happened. I am fine. And I knew, it was a scam. I also Googled the phone number, and then I saw more information from other people who had posted, and they were saying, what was going on, and it's a mortgage scam. Crazy. Um, and so this is just something I really want to bring to your attention. Um, they're just getting so clever. They're getting so clever using AI. So, how many of you have called a company and that company now uses an AI assistant to like set their appointments or things like that, or answer general questions? And they use an AI receptionist. So, that same technology is being used against us too. It's being used where you'll get a call and it can be so convincing. Oh, hello, we're calling. We want to talk to you about your escrow and we want to do this and we want to do that and we want to save you. And I just got some questions for you. Do you, they ask you a question and they're trying to get you to say either YES or NO, right? And so again, they're trying to get you to do these things, I think, so that then they can take your voice and use it somewhere down the road to authenticate some transaction or whatever. Hey, this is so, I mean, it's scary to think about, really. I'm not trying to scare you, but I want you to be aware of it because you have to think of ways to be vigilant and protect yourself. Um, the deep fakes out there, I mean, just being online now, half the time you can tell it's like, oh, that's AI. Hopefully, some of you may not be able to tell. It's so sophisticated and advanced. But I guess what I want to say on that first point is don't believe everything you read. I remember, okay, I'm going to age myself. I'm going to age myself. I remember when the internet came. This is funny for me to even say. I remember when the internet came out. I was like graduating from high school. And it was like this new thing. There was these chat rooms, and there was AOL, and there was all this stuff, whatever. But one thing that I remember learning was you can't believe everything you read on the internet, right? And so nowadays, I feel like you can't believe everything you see on the internet. You just can't. You have to kind of step back and be like, mm. I mean, there are certain things. Sometimes AI is glitchy, sometimes the shadows are off. There's certain things at times that kind of give it away, you know? But you just can't believe everything. And they got these deep fakes, and we're watching videos and reels and other, shorts and all that, and they are pretty convincing, right? It could be even one of your favorite celebrities. A lot of it is clickbait too. A lot of it is clickbait. My cousin sent a song the other day, and it was allegedly a song with three artists. And I was watching the video. One, the video was never like an official video. It was like they compiled different clips of these artists and put it to a song. And a lot of the songs we listen to are AI. They're not real songs. Nobody wrote it. Like, people's jobs are in danger, if you ask me. But that's just my opinion. So I went and Googled. I was like, is there really a song by these three artists? Because this seems weird. Like, this song is weird to me. It's kind of weird. And one of the artists never had a part in it. I was like, I'm waiting on the dude to rap. Like, where are these artists? And so I Googled it, and it was like, no, there's no song. There are some AI, you know, songs going around, but these artists never did a collaboration. I was like, I had a feeling. I had a feeling they hadn't. So just be mindful. We have to be vigilant and be able to discern, and not believe everything that we see online. So I got a few notes here. I was trying to, every time something came up, I was trying to take a little note so I could just kind of throw it out there and tell me in the comments, like, have you had these emails? Have you gotten these calls? Have you gotten letters? One of them I hear about are these jury duty scams that are going on. I've seen some of these online, and I saw this on my local news. And basically, they're saying that the county's never gonna contact you um, and ask for certain information from you, regarding jury duty. Another one that I want to be mindful of was utilities. Now, people bold will come to your home in a vest to make themselves appear to be like they're with a utility company. And again, there's going to always be like a sense of urgency. Oh my God, we need to check this, we need to check that. It's just like, I haven't heard anything about this. I haven't heard anything about that. Um, when I was getting my Wi-Fi done, I had somebody ring my doorbell. Wasn't expecting them. It was legitimate, but I was still kind of like, what's going on here? I was told y'all was coming on such and such date, and so he did explain. He's like, oh, I'm just doing the outside part, getting everything ready, yada yada. Oh, okay. All right then, like, what are you doing here? Like, you already know what date I scheduled, and today isn't that day. But or these aren't the utility companies, and usually your utility company will have a number for you to report these things to if something like this happens. Another that I found interesting, and I have noticed this when I'm on the phone. So since I've moved into this home, I've been doing a lot of like Googling of things. I'm like, well, what's this, and what does this mean, and what plants will help um, keep mosquitoes away or whatever. Like, I just been Googling a lot. So on some of my Google searches, I've noticed that I will get a captcha, like, am I a robot? And I've never clicked it. I just exit out. I'm like, nah, because I just find it odd. I'll get a message that'll say, we've noticed some unusual activity or something like that, something to that nature. We've noticed some unusual activity on your account, on your Wi-Fi, or something like that, it'll say. And then it'll want me to like do like a the box, mark the box. And it's, I guess it'll take me to a captcha. I don't know, because I won't mark it. I just go out and I'll maybe reword how I searched it, because I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, that's weird. Like, all I did was run a search. I'm not on a website. I'm not trying to log into anything. So what I learned on the news, so I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I've never done this. I heard on the news that these captchas, or interesting name because they trying to capture, but it is a way to put malware on your device. And what it'll do is, you know how um, when you do that, it'll be like, point out the bus or everything that's a bridge and all this stuff. Well, on these, it's actually having you do commands. So anybody that knows something about computer programming, there's certain ways you can put in codes and things like that. So these will have you doing certain type of commands like that, like hit control, hit this, hit that. You don't ever need to do that for Am I a Robot? It's usually just pictures. You don't need to do that. So I thought that was interesting, but while I know I would not have fallen for that, I would have been like, you want me to hit control, whatever, whatever. I would be like, nah, there's something not right about this. But I guess if you do happen to do something like that, they were saying to, get out of it immediately, get off the Wi-Fi, because it's downloading some type of malware where now they can see everything that you are doing as far as your inputs. So then they have access to your logins and your passwords. And it gets dangerous because a lot of us do mobile banking. And we don't want those passwords compromised, right? And so I was really thinking about it. Sometimes I think it's easy to get to a point where it's like, you know what, I don't even want to mess with the phone. I don't want to mess with the phone. I want to mess with the internet. I don't want to mess with online. This is ridiculous. Um, I feel because there were so many data breaches, companies and things like that. Um, I remember when there was a data breach with one of the credit bureaus. So I'm like, well, at this point, they already have my info, right? So what I did was I decided that I'm going to just freeze all my credit reports, because that way you can't that's only one layer. That's not going to protect you from everything. That's just preventing anybody from opening something up in your name, right, that involves credit. But that's not protecting you from everything. But freeze your credit reports. If you haven't, you can do that easy on all. It's free. It's free to freeze them. You just go to either TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. You can set up an account with them and you can freeze it. They'll have a login, and if you actually need it, you can go in and unfreeze it. But just put your credit on a freeze. Like, are you really out here applying for credit every day? I hope not, because that's bad for your credit score. But protect your credit report in that way. Freeze it. Set up account alerts. Account alerts can alert you of anything. I remember if there was any activity on my account, I would just say, if there's a transaction of $1, alert me, right? And then that way I got alerts about everything. And depending on, how you use your account and things like that, you may not want that. But if it's like something that's $50 or $100 or $500, wherever you are, you may want to get an alert. I also have an alert with my savings account if it goes below a certain amount, because then that's twofold. It's like, well, whoa, Maya, why are you spending so much? Like, why have you tapped into your savings to the point where now you're below this number? And then two, it's like, well, my account should never go below this number, right? So account alerts would be helpful as well. Let me so another, and I got a little list here so I can remember. Strong passwords, strong and unique passwords. So I know it can seem easier and more convenient to have the same password for everything, but the reason that that is not good, it seems obvious, right? It's easy to remember it, but it's not good because then once if they discover your password is compromised on one thing, now you, for your convenience, have the same password on everything, and now they can access everything, and we don't want that. We don't want them to be able to access those things. At minimum, be sure your bank accounts passwords are nothing similar to your email or some store account or something like that. Be sure those are strong. um, I now I I just let um, the password manager on my device kind of handle that for me because I'm out of creative passwords. It's like I haven't run out, especially something that I can remember. And then two, they're like, you're not supposed to write them down, right? So I think just trying to find that best way to protect and keep your account safe, have those alerts on there, and be sure your password or is not easy to guess. It's nothing to do with your life. It's nothing. It's not your favorite this. It's not your kids. Whatever. Like it's really having like a strong, unique password that you somehow can remember. And a lot of tips, what I'll do a lot of times is I'll have a phrase and I will take the first letter of my phrase and that'll be my password. And then maybe I'll add, some numbers or things like that. But that's helped me, is to have a phrase that I say. Maybe it's your favorite quote, and your favorite quote, just take the first letter from each word of that. you know, I don't know. I'm just trying to trying to think, but that's something that I've done because I have run out of unique things or ways to come up with something else, especially so that I can remember. Otherwise, every time I'm logging in, I'm resetting my password. You also want to have like a multifaceted authentication. I didn't really see the importance of this at one point, silly me, but now I definitely have it where I'm getting that text message, or they're sending that email or something like that to really make sure that it is me. Um, Here are some other good tips that I found. When you are getting these calls or these letters or whatever it may be, however they're trying to reach you and get your attention, and they make this urgent, it's like this urgent request. Just slow down. Just slow down. Because a lot of times they're trying to apply pressure, right? And you just got to kind of take it slow down. You can hang up on them, whatever. And when something like that happens, you can call, the actual company and be like, "Did you reach out? I got a call. They said that it was, You can call and confirm in that way. But what I absolutely don't want you to ever do, avoid saying YESNNO on the phone. Avoid answering those direct questions because they're trying to get your voice. Also, um, never, ever, ever give any of your personal information. So don't be fooled that some of your information they already have because it's public. So they already know your name, they already got your address, they already got your phone number because they called you, right? But what you don't ever want to do, you don't ever need to be giving any social security numbers. You don't ever need to be giving any account numbers. So no one should be calling you asking you for that information. The bank already don't ever give your PIN number to someone. Um, don't give your username or password, nothing like that. Um, you should never, no one from a legit company is ever going to call you and request personal information from you. Companies have privacy policies, and so they already have your information. They don't need it, right? Um, and if you don't, if and trust your gut. I think that's the where I'm going to end it. Trust your gut. It's better to be safe than sorry. Trust your gut. If something feels off, you do not have to go through with it. You do not have to go through with it. Avoid someone calling and asking for a large amount of money, sometimes even a small amount of money, because they're really just trying to get your account number. And unfortunately, a lot of our elderly family members and loved ones fall for these scams, and they think that they need to send a certain amount of money to handle something because this scammer has made it seem urgent. Um, and so check on your loved ones, check on your elderly loved ones and your parents and things like that, because they're the ones falling victim. They are also the ones who are struggling the most right now, right? Perhaps, right? Perhaps maybe, they're on a fixed income and things are tight. And so it's like, oh, this sounds like a good idea. This could help me. I'm trying to find a way to make room in my budget and all of that. And this sounds like it can help me. So check on your loved ones, check on the elderly people in your lives, just to try and keep them safe. But again, there's a number of things, a number of ways. I would encourage you, if you don't know a lot about how to protect your identity, how to protect your money, look up some ways, um, and see what you can do today. But definitely get in the comments. Let's talk about this because this is serious right now. And again, what I don't want to happen to anybody in this community is all this hard work that you're doing to build and change and make new habits to create longevity and legacy to be ruined by a scam that either we just didn't take time. We were in a hurry and they got you at a time and they were able to convince you of the urgency when it was all a fake. So that's really all I got today. I would like to keep these at 30 minutes and under, so that you can allow me to be a part of your day, maybe while you're getting ready on one of your commutes. So let me know what you think. If any of this was helpful, please share it with someone. Again, this is just to get you thinking about those things and being mindful and having an awareness, because these things are happening every day. I was just in such an excited, state of buying a home. The last thing on my mind was, a scam. And so very clever of them to, try to make it seem like something's going on with your loan. Well, I already got the keys, so that's kind of how I saw it. Like, well, I don't know what's going on with it, but I've already done all what I need to do. And so, it just never crossed my mind to be on the lookout for something such as that. So be on the lookout. Ask someone, uh, you know, trust your gut, really. Trust your gut, trust your intuition, because you're probably right. If something feels off, it's probably a little off. So that's my time. Thank you for putting up with my setup. I really hope I can find my cord so that next time we can be in a different view here. And maybe I can't even say by next time I'll be completely set up. I have had some other things to tend to. Um, it's funny how when you go into a situation, you have a plan, but then life has a different plan, right? And so I had to take care of some other matters. I haven't even been able to put anything up on the walls or anything like that, but I'm getting things together. So that's all that really matters. So Until next time, again, thank you for tuning in with me on this Monday. And I hope you have an amazing week. And talk to you soon. Have a great week.